Hi everyone, it's Clav. We are back today playing Star Wars Battlefront's historical campaign. This is the Galactic Civil War era on Bespin. We are doing the liberation of Cloud City.
The Empire has left behind many troops to keep control of Cloud City. We must enter the city and remove the Imperial presence.
It's funny because when everyone talks about Star Wars Battlefront, they always say, oh, do you remember Mos Eisley? I remember Bespin Cloud City. It's definitely one of my favourite maps. It's in my top 3. This spawn point right here on the rear flank is one of my favourites in the game ever. If you run down this corridor, you get a perfectly clear view of as many stormtroopers as they can fit in one command post, and it's a lot of fun to just run down here, throw a couple grenades, get a couple easy kills, hold off this centre room of the corridor. Not only can you pop out to the left, you can also pop out to the right, keep taking out people who are spawning coming down the corridor. When I used to play when I was younger, we'd have LAN parties. At the LAN parties, even my dad's adult friends couldn't beat me on this level because I would specifically play the post in the back there, and then I'd either run down this corridor or run down the big open platform, which I don't show in this video, to cap the other command post. Not the chamber, but the one before it. Unfortunately, I didn't play the map the way I normally do here. I actually often run to the command post just through that corridor. They get caught out here by this sharpshooter. I then respawned in the chamber. I don't think it's often that we cap the chamber. I walked straight into the hole and died. I joined Han Solo on his trips to Jabba's palace. I continued on with my journey. We open up into the big open section of Bespin Cloud City. This is not a nice place to be. You do not want to spend a lot of time here. There's turrets, there's minimal cover. Also, you are at risk of being shot from above everywhere. The whole map, almost. You can see down on this central corridor. Moving back to try and cap the chamber here, you get to see this walkway, which opens up into another big open section. I got shot, didn't realise there was a sharpshooter up there. My fault. And then walking through here, up to the chamber. Don't walk in there unless you would like to be carbonated. A stormtrooper spawned. I'm already on 33 kills. The other team are winning. It can be a hard map to win for the rebels, so you just have to be wary of the gap between you and the Empire. If you're not careful and your rebels continually keep walking into the open section, it's very easy to get caught out. A couple times the Empire were pretty desperate, kept capping that command post. Not a good idea when you play against me. I will happily respawn at the rear flank and make my way back down this corridor, getting a couple easy kills. I'm already on 41, 108 to 40, 140 there. 43 kills. It's just such a fun place to come down and take out a couple stormtroopers. It's almost as if Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, all they had to do was just come down this one central corridor. Never would have had any issues with Darth Vader. It would have been like a reverse Tantive scene where Luke is just bodying masses of stormtroopers, which we don't get to see, unfortunately, very often. I think I make my way to that other command post that I was supposed to earlier. It's a very similar deal to the rear flank. If you can get this one, and then every other exterior command post, it means that the center citadel section is very open, and the Empire get bombarded by rebel soldiers just focusing down on them. Makes it a lot harder for them to win. Here, I've capped the whole outside edge, but I get taken out by a turret. I had had enough of playing on the upper section, so I decided to come down to the lower section here and try and keep my kill count up. We did just get in front, but I want to stay in front. It's very easy to get flipped back on you here. There are a couple maps, as the game goes on in the campaign, where you get caught out if you don't pay attention to the score count and you just do something else. They can very easily flip it back. I'm on 65 kills, 42 to 12, and for some reason, all the stormtroopers think that shooting in the sky is the best solution to the problem. No, that's because they're all looking up at different platforms. That's just a good example of how the AI in the game operates. They focus on where they're getting shot at, not where everyone else is, and it makes them very easy targets here out in the open. Now we've got every single command post capped in the courtyard, including, and we are timed down. Fortunately, I'm able to find both the stormtroopers and take them out so that we get the victory.
Yay, we won! Yippee!
I had 72 kills, 8 deaths, that's okay here, 5 caps, 28 headshots, that would have been that central corridor. I had the public enemy and Deadeye.
An Imperial garrison has been left behind to monitor Cloud City's mining operations. The planet's mining operation is essential to our cause. We must take back those facilities.
Battle in the Clouds is also a very underrated mission, or map to play on here. If you like how we played on the last Bespin map, this map also kind of functions the same. As a kid, I wouldn't fly. That's why I'm probably really bad at it. I often will run down these corridors and use the side pillars as some protection. As I run down, the stormtroopers all run down, and I haven't been very accurate today on Cloud City and here. It's functioned okay for me at Cloud City. It was not helpful for my gameplay. I had to try and change it up a little bit and do something different. I ended up using the vehicles of the map to take a couple of the side command posts after getting sick of being taken out from bad bullet spraying by me. The auto aim has a problem with different enemies moving around, and maybe that's why my focus hasn't been too great at taking out the other enemies. As you can see, I've hopped in an X-Wing and we are flying to this back platform. You don't have to worry too much about TIE fighters, they're not very accurate. It's very similar to how the game plays. You hop out of this X-Wing, cap this command post, or the other one, doesn't really matter. It ends up being a problem as the game goes on for the Empire because they get so spread out across the different platforms that they end up not being able to take command posts back off you. Here I accidentally swapped into another X-Wing and then got grenaded by my own teammate. Worked out in the end, capped this command post. I just noticed Platforms is actually just flying Camino. It's not too bad on the score. If you don't pay attention, typically the Rebels will beat the Stormtroopers here. It does happen sometimes where the Stormtroopers will win. It's a very fun map because it feels like the end of the Empire Strikes Back, where Luke is hanging off. Unfortunately, you can't see him anywhere, much like how when you have heroes in the game, they just disappear, end up pathfinding on random rocks or walls, or taking out maybe 2 enemies here or there. It is a very open map. There isn't much in terms of cover. If you do end up in a lower position, just be wary of that. I tried to cap all command posts like a hero, did not work very well for me. There are anti-vehicle turrets that can be used to take out enemies. They are fixed. They are a bit slow and clunky to use. I don't really use them very often. I would have used them when I was playing with my friends. Often play certain rules. It was like vehicles, V-turrets, or just letting the enemies win while we just take out each other. We're not allowed to take out the enemies. Here it is already 131 to 95. There's all kinds of explosions and grenades happening around this corridor. It's not a similar match to the last Bespin. It was a high kill count for me. Again, I had a problem with aiming. They all sort of get stuck here, and I think that's where the aiming has an issue. A couple of sharpshooters running down this corridor, and a pilot as well. That doesn't help. If you're the... It makes for some pretty easy killings if they're not accurate. Respawning again here at our own base. We did have a couple of influxes of Empire enemies making their way into these command posts and trying to cap it. Fortunately, I caught onto it pretty early because I died fairly frequently here, and it allowed me to keep on top of them. I'm already at 6 deaths, but 34 kills, that's not too bad, 4 caps. They all keep coming from that center corridor in waves and waves and waves, but it's been a lot of fun playing here. I do like playing on Bespin, both Bespin maps. Severely underrated. It was a shame that I think this map didn't make it to the second game. I'll have to play the second game soon. I'm thinking about what sort of titles I want to play going forward. I don't really want to do a Let's Play style channel, but I do want to play through games for historical purposes. I know a lot of people make a lot of videos on a lot of games. For me and my kids to just sit there and watch us play games or talk, even them sitting down watching a different playthrough of a different game, it is very obvious to me that I can see them processing that it's me talking and that they're talking at certain points in time and they know when it happens. So it's been a lot of fun. I just want to give you a heads up on what's going on. I know not a lot of people will watch, and that's fine. There's no requirement to watch. I'm quite understanding about that. I really appreciate people who do. It's crazy to me to think that someone will sit there and listen to me talk for a little bit, but it does happen. That's the last enemy, and it leaves me on 53 kills. We get the victory here. I had 53 kills, 8 deaths, 5 caps. That's the most important part, because I took the outside places, and I actually managed to fly in an X-Wing, so that was a bit of fun. Thank you for watching.